It's an exciting time. Many of us are starting to return to the water. Whether it's open water or pool swimming, our bodies are going to need a bit of time to adapt back to this sport that we have so missed. And it is really tempting to just leap in and go for it. But realistically, we need to dip our toes in gently, at least to start with. So today, I'm just going to be refreshing your swimming memory before we dive in. I know at the start of lockdown there was a lot of emphasis on what you could do on dry land to help with your swimming, with conditioning and swimming fitness, and those exercises are brilliant, but realistically they're only going to sort of tide you over for a few weeks, and for most of us it's now turned into several months out of the water. And I expect quite a lot of you have still kept up your cardiovascular fitness, which is great, and it is going to translate to a certain extent, but I imagine your shoulder muscles are going to need some waking up. I won't go into too much detail today because we do have 2 in-depth videos on the topic, so check out how to train for swimming at home. And you do want to start to wake these shoulder muscles up a week or so before you plan to go swimming with some good pre-activation exercises. So get the physio band out, start to work your rotator cuff muscles, which are the smaller ones around your shoulder but play a key part when it comes to swimming. And then you can even replicate the actual swim stroke. So if you've got some swim cords or you can improvise with something, run through the motions of doing the pull phase of the stroke, and also use it as a pre-activation for when you actually go swimming. So either take them with you, if you can't hang around, then still do the pre-activation exercises before you head to the pool or the open water. Just a quick check here. When do you last take a look at your swim kit? I really hope for your sake that it's not still at the bottom of your swim bag, but quickly check your goggle straps because they can perish, and it's a good idea just to put a spare cap and goggles in your bag when you are heading for a swim. And if it's open water, then obviously dig out your wetsuit and make sure you don't forget the lube because your skin's probably got a little bit soft and not used to swimming, so probably plenty of that. And if you are swimming somewhere without a lifeguard, just remember to take a safety buoy so you can be seen. Your first swim session or swim back. In actual fact, I don't want to call it session. I want you to think of it as a paddle, a dip, a float, whatever it is. And if you can do it with friends, that's even better because it's just going to add that social element and make it fun. And it will feel a bit odd to start with, but hopefully liberating and exciting as well. But you need to manage those expectations and think about the bigger picture because realistically, there aren't going to be any races anytime soon. So you want to build a nice base and it'll help you become a stronger swimmer in the long run. And when you do get in, try and set yourself a bit of a goal. First session, you might well feel amazing, I quite often do, but then it's session 2 and 3 that reveal your real swimming fitness and conditioning. But for those sessions, if you set yourself a target, if you reach it, great. If you don't worry about it, but try not to exceed that because you don't want to be getting out of the water having completely exhausted yourself, rather having a little bit left over so that you're really excited to go back for your 2nd and 3rd session. It differs slightly if you're swimming in a pool or open water. A lot of open water is going to be cold, so you're not going to want to hang around too long. So it's a good idea to just get in and get a warm-up done to get your body moving and heated up a little bit. So 5 to 10 minutes of nice, easy swimming or less if that's what you can manage. And then take a bit of a break, whether that's holding on to a buoy or you're coming back to the side, and then go again for another 5 to 10 minutes. Take a rest, and if you feel up to it, try one final block. For some of you that might sound very little, others of you it might be quite a lot. But remember, we have had a long time off and it's much better to start off small and build up rather than the other way around. If you are going back to swimming in a pool, then take the sort of similar principle with a nice steady warm up. But obviously in a pool, you're going to be naturally warmer and you can take breaks far more often. So for sort of the middle bit of the session, break it up into nice small distances, say a block of 50 meters of a set there. And then you can again finish off with some continuous swimming at the end for your warm down where you're just really thinking about your stroke. Just like you need pre-activation work, you also need to do a bit of work to assist your recovery. Obviously, swimming involves a great amount of flexibility, especially around your shoulders. And working from home, you might well have had bad posture. Maybe you've been sat on the sofa on your laptop. Add to that the sudden extra workload on the muscles around your shoulders from coming back into the water. You do need to give them a little bit of TLC. So it's a good idea to get a bit of a mobility and flexibility routine. If you want some ideas, we've already made a video on how to prevent swimmer's shoulder, which you can check out for a bit of guidance. going to take some time to get that feeling back. So use this time to really focus on technique and see it as a blank sheet, because hopefully you might have forgotten some of those bad habits you had before. And if you really concentrate on drills and things now, you can actually nip those problems in the bud before you get started. So ditch the clock or the pace watch and just focus on trying to get that feel back. So thinking about your form, incorporating drills rather than focusing on distance and speed. So you want to do things that will slow your stroke down and just to help you actually remember what you're doing with your hands in the water. So single arm drills or doggy paddle, or even doing some sculling, anything which you can watch your hand and you're slowing it down. So really concentrate on this style of swimming for the first week or two until you start to get that feel back. Right, by weeks 2 up to week 4, you've hopefully started to get that feel back and you're still enjoying your swimming. And I imagine you're desperate to start working hard, but don't go too crazy yet. You can start to increase the distance and put some structure in, but don't worry too much about intensity. So if you are swimming in a pool, then start to notice the amount of rest you're having and the time you're going off, but don't worry too much about the actual pace that you're hitting. We want to really concentrate on the form at this stage, and there's plenty of time to add in the speed work later on once you've built this nice foundation. If it's open water, it is quite hard to break up the session, but swimming continuously can get a little boring. So add in drills and even changes of pace to your open water circuit so that you can start to increase that sort of structure and just make sure that you're staying interested and you're still progressing as you move forwards. After 4 weeks, you should be starting to get some of that feel and that strength back in the water. So now is a perfect time to test yourself. It's there just to find out where you're at now so you can measure your progression. So choose a distance. 400 meters is a great one, or even do the CSS test, and you then know what you're working with going forwards. And hopefully, if you've been building up gradually, your body has adapted nicely to that. And if so, you can start to consider returning to some of those sessions that you were doing before your break. But again, listen to your body as you go. It's time to start putting in the hard work, but still remember, quality is important. Good luck with your return. I know many of you are a little bit apprehensive about getting back in the water and worried that you've lost everything that you gained from working so hard over the past few seasons. But please don't be disheartened from your first couple of sessions back, because yes, it is going to feel a little bit weird. You've been out of the water for a long time, so please be patient and it will pay off in the long run. If you've enjoyed it, give us a like, and remember, you can check out all of our social media channels and give those a follow too.